NFL Pregame Report.
Yo, what is up, y'all? What is up? It's me, King. We're back. We're in the building with another NFL Pregame Report. And as always, I'm your hostess with the mostest. And we do have a new face in the building. Goes by the name of Anthony. Also, the Chicken Nugget King, the 313, the newest member of the Sports Wave Network. Anthony, what is going on, man?
Yeah. You know, it's exciting to be a part of this family, a part of this team. You know, Sports Wave Network, man. It's beautiful to be on here and about sports and talk about our teams and even other teams. So let the fun begin and let's let the journey ride.
TJ, the fellow Steelers fan, I'm sure he's not happy right now, but how's your Sunday going?
Better now. Horrible yesterday. Didn't win none of my college bets, and then that Steelers game happened, so it was just, I'm happy it's over.
All right, and then we're going to be joining in by Cedric and, of course, Bobby, your local masshole of the group, but they will be in momentarily. But let's get things started here with the breaking topic of the week, Kirk Cousins. That Kirk Cousins experiment didn't go too well in Atlanta there. All that money that they paid for Kirk Cousins, for him to be cut at the end of the season. And they're going with the Michael Penix era. Everybody was questioning why they would take Michael Penix at the 8th pick when they just signed Kirk Cousins all this money. Now we clearly know why. Arthur Blank is a smart man now. But let's start with Anthony. Your thoughts on Kirk Cousins getting cut so fast, and do you think Michael Penix will be the future of this Falcons team?
You know, when you think about experience, you think about Kirk Cousins. When you think about Michael Penix Jr., you think about youth. So in your mind, you got to go, are we going to go youth or experience? They started out with experience first. Then they worked their way to getting a guy like Michael Penix Jr. in developing for the youth and understanding that he can read through, you know, the playbook and the timing and understand his teammates and get, you know, his head acclimated for the future and what he can do for this franchise. Now that you throw him out there, you want to see him do good. You want to see him, you know, get out there, get out the pocket, and even be in the pocket and be in the position to lead this team forward out the pocket and run. You got good pieces like, you know, Drake London, Michael Pitts, you got all that. You got Kyle Pitts basically, and you got a lot of things to work with that offensive line. So I think that going into this game against the Giants, he's going to have a field day.
All right, TJ, your thoughts on Kirk Cousins? You think he's going to get the boot this early?
Honestly, I thought it was a pretty good signing. I thought he was going to do decent. You know, I thought he was going to kind of look like, you know, I guess you can say what Russell Wilson's looked like with the Steelers, you know, not like his old self, but still a lot better than he's been, obviously. You know, I remember the day he got drafted and Arthur Blank stared the general manager down like, what are you doing? Well, guess what, man? That's why you hire football people that know what they're doing, because he knew that this was a possibility. So, you know, the general manager went from the firing squad to now all of a sudden a genius. But yeah, Michael Penix Jr., what better time to start? I'm sure playing the Giants had something to do with the timing of it, you know, because as we all know, the Giants not looking too good this season. So it's a great first start for him. He'll probably do pretty decent. But yeah, in my opinion, Kirk Cousins, unless he wants to sign on as a veteran leader or a backup, he's probably done in the NFL, unfortunately, after this season now.
And we got set up here. Hopefully, your Denver one. Well, no, they didn't win. I had them winning.
Hey, it's okay. We'll still be in the playoffs.
Your thoughts on Kirk Cousins?
I mean, it's only right that he goes out the way that he came in, right? It's full circle. Came in, taking the first rounder spot, goes out having the first. I don't know if he'll go out, but yeah, I just think he just, you know, I feel like they wanted to go to Penix earlier this year, but they couldn't because they were still in the running for that division for a long time. Till like last week, I think even. They may even still be in the running for the division. But yeah, I think it was a good time than ever. for Atlanta to move on, see what they have. Like, why not? There's really not a whole lot of improvement from years before with Kirk Cousins. So, I'd say aside from him balling lights out, we all saw the writing on the wall. And it's funny, they kind of did the opposite of what Pittsburgh did, not quite so much to pick with Pittsburgh, but still, Pittsburgh started with the younger. Well, I guess Russ got hurt. That's why he didn't start the year. So probably would have been seen differently. But now they're rocking with their veteran guy. So who knows what would have happened if Penix would have came out first, and then Atlanta would have turned to Kirk Cousins. But yeah, no, I thought that was a decent move for Atlanta. It's time for change. They want to change, and they just happened to have a chance to get Kirk Cousins last season. So why not try it?
Yeah, and plus, Michael Penix, he's a lefty, so things are going to be as far as throwing and getting to where the spots is going to be coming out a little different. Atlanta still has a chance to sneak in. They gotta have a lot of help, but honestly, in my opinion, it was time for Kirk to leave. I thought maybe get benched, not cut, because he wasn't playing well the last couple of games, and more interceptions, picks. They had a chance to win against the Chargers. He threw that pick late. I don't know. Do you think so? Now that he's getting cut, do you think he goes somewhere else that needs a quarterback? Will he become a backup? I mean, he do say he still want to be a starter in this league. Is him being a starter in this league done?
No. There's still teams, right? Like, that won't get those first 3 picks. Or there's still teams that'll get a quarterback. Maybe they won't want to roll out there so quickly. Who knows what Carolina's going to do? They could completely go in a completely different direction. Raiders may want to bring a veteran in. They don't seem to like to draft quarterbacks. They may have the first pick, so that may be different. But the Nugget King in the house. Hey, oh shoot! I just saw Chicken Nugget King. That's amazing.
yeah, it's okay said. I mean, to piggyback off what you're saying, I agree wholeheartedly. There's guys out there that can still produce in this league as vets, and then there's guys that are young and still green and don't know what to do with the playbook. It's gonna be some time where you go out there and you figure out what you're gonna do and how you can fit in with the offense. Now with the Raiders, they don't know how to develop a quarterback. They don't know what to do with quarterbacks that are young. So I think Kirk Cousins would definitely be the ideal fit over there with Antonio Pierce, over there with the likes of guys that could really fit out the backfield and maybe even the front line. So as you could say, it didn't work out with Devontae Adams. It didn't work out with any other players, and even Max Crosby. Let's look at the Max Crosby situation. It's topsy-turvy on that. It could be a circus. So who knows where they're gonna go? But I definitely think that Kirk Cousins could keep his eye on Twin City.
Mm-hmm.
TJ, is Kirk Cousins done in this league as a starter?
Unless like it was just said, unless it's an extremely needy franchise like the Raiders or Cleveland, I wouldn't even. I mean, even if Kyler Murray completely went down the tank, I don't even know if the Cardinals would be in that situation. It would have to be a quarterback needy team, and it wouldn't be a great situation. It would pretty much be a last gasp shot for Cousins, and it probably wouldn't end well, to be honest. So I think he's pretty much done.
Well, they won't have to pay him though. They'll just have to pay him the vet minimum because Atlanta will be paying him. So I mean, it's kind of like the Russ situation. You pay $1 for a starting quarterback. Well, why not? Right? Like if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. So I think that opens up a lot more teams for him. Go ahead.
Even with the vet minimum, the cheaper price. So I mean, it could work out pretty well with a vet minimum.
Mm-hmm.
As my guy Shady said right here, he just let it be known, like, look, man, it's going to be quarterback needy teams, whether if it's the Jets, whether if it's the Browns, they already got a quarterback, but I would say Carolina, but technically those needy teams that need a quarterback are just desperate for it. They're desperate right now, and they don't know what else to do. So if they're scrambling and desperate, they're definitely going to hit up Kirk Cousins for a starting spot.
Yeah. especially for pennies on the dollar. Why not? Why not, right? Like, even if it's not even a starting spot, maybe it's a spot in case your starter gets hurt. Maybe Houston wants to look at it for in case CJ Stroud goes down or something, a situation like that, or in Philly where they feel like they got the squad, but just in case, their mobile
Philly's good. They
quarterback.
got Kenny Pickett.
I don't want Kirk Cousins near my city. I'm sorry. I'll take Kenny Pickett over Cousins. Sorry, just
Kenny
saying.
Pickett over Cousins?
Are
I'm
you
just
crazy?
But
Yes, I'm
Pickett
crazy.
he ain't had no
Nope.
500-yard game.
Nope. I'm sorry.
No.
I can't trust Kirk Cousins even with the lineup that we got.
Kirk Cochains.
Now that is a hot take. That is a hot take. Whoa.
Kenny Pickett. I think Kenny Pickett has trouble sometimes. He has trouble, but he's an okay player. He's not like the great player, but he's an okay player, and he can fit wherever you put him as long as he stays as a
He's
QB too. Hey, look, he didn't work out with the Steelers. He didn't work out, but as long as you could develop him and teach him along the way, he'll be all right. That's all you need.
I'll take my third string. Give me Tanner McKee over Kirk Cousins. I'm sorry. I can't trust Kirk. I don't know.
Shout names now.
I don't know what Kirk gonna show
So
up.
you would take Tim Boyle over him?
Oof.
Yeah, no, I don't know about that. I'm taking Kirk.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I can see. I agree with Beantown. Honestly, I could see like a team like the Jets, like, well, we're not gonna exactly have one of those earlier draft picks, but we need a quarterback. You know what I mean? They could have Kirk just in case. And now you're seeing the Steelers. Like right last year, everybody saw the Texans and they're like, oh shoot, your draft quarterback can come in and take you to the playoffs. Right away. We see that. But now everybody's seeing the Steelers where it's like, ooh, well, maybe, like maybe we put two of these guys in the backfield. Carolina did it too with Andy Dalton and Baker Mayfield. Maybe we put two of these guys in the backfield and see which one flourishes, dang, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of places Kirk will be playing somewhere next season for sure.
Look, he don't gotta play nowhere. Atlanta paying him money.
That's true.
He'll be sitting on his couch.
Hey, he could definitely sit on his couch and chill. Just chill and let it be.
But he won't.
Look on his phone.
He won't. Kirk Cochains. He ain't gonna watch Joe Flacco go out there and throw passes.
No, but Flacco really resurged himself. Like when he came to the Browns, he really did some good things with the Browns too. Like he's a dang good player, dang good experienced quarterback. And I feel like the difference between Kirk Cousins and Joe Flacco is that Joe Flacco succeeded with the Baltimore Ravens. And not only he succeeded with the Baltimore Ravens, but he had a lot of good, postseason, success. So I think that at the end of the day, if you really wanted a quarterback, you could definitely hit up Joe Flacco at any given moment. His phone would definitely be waiting.
This is true. And I seen firsthand, went to Atlanta Falcons game this past season, like the beginning of September. Beautiful stadium, by the way, in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. My cousin is a long-term, season ticket holder for the Falcons. When they introduced Kirk Cousins, she booed. Never liked Kirk Cousins. She can't stand him, and I got the video. It's hilarious. Like this, everybody was like, "Oh, give Kirk Cousins a chance." She's like, "No, don't like him." And now she's like, "Yes, I'm glad he's gone." So, but anyway, and then she texted me this morning. I'm on my way to the game. I said, "Oh, you get to see Michael Penix firsthand, up close and personal." But yeah, that's Kirk Cousins. Dude, I see he'll be on somebody's team. We'll see where he goes. I still want to applaud his agent. I need his agent. Maybe we can, get another deal of the car. I can take him to the dealership. Him and Howie, we gonna go to the dealership together. I might not be spending nothing. The inconsistency of the officiating this year, Lord have mercy. They missing face masks, they're missing PIs. Now they're talking about possibly having replay assist when it comes with face masks. Do you think that the officiating will get better next year? Or how has this officiating caused games over the course of these weeks? We are now week 16. How have these officials been? Let's start with TJ.
I mean, it's probably been at an all-time worse this season. I mean, just blatant, like the face masks are the biggest thing, because it literally, you can see still shots of the face mask 5 feet in front of where the ref is standing, and he's not calling it. It's like, dude, how do you miss that? Come on. Of course, then you have, it's causing what really is making the league step in and basically say, we're going to micromanage officiating with this replay assist, is Vegas. People are calling it a conspiracy theory because, refs are, manipulating the outcome of the game, over unders, all this, if it's going to cost anybody of importance money, throw the flag, bring the touchdown back. So that's the real reason why I think they're bringing it, why they're initiating all these extra thoughts for next season, or maybe even enacting them as soon as the postseason this year. Who knows? But the officiating's just been bad. Even regular calls in games, it's usually the officiating staff, you would see them call it the same way throughout the entirety of the game. But now every game, it's like as soon as it gets down to about within 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, it becomes a flag fest. Things that guys were getting away with, it's like ticky-tacky are getting called now. And yeah, it's adjusting the outcome of the game. That might not be purposeful or intended, but if you're going to call it a certain way, you got to call it the same way the entirety of the game. And if you're for the specific ref or set team per game, call it throughout the course of the season. Don't switch it up by quarter or by game. Just be more consistent overall.
Anthony.
Okay, Roger, watching, don't find, please. Please don't find me. I don't want to get fined. I'll keep my comments to myself. No. There has been bad officiating this season, and it looks the NFL, and they need to fix it, right away. That's all I could say to it, is just fix it, make it better for the game, make it better for the fans, and stop letting it get dictated by guys that are taking control of the game. These are players that play in the game to win. It's not the referees. The referees make the call. They don't need to determine that way to make the games won.
Sid?
Man, the refs out here playing Mr. Beast games, seeing who can get away with the most outrageous or the most non-calls in a game. And I wasn't even complaining about it till Thursday night, right? When, you see that there are multiple replays of pass interference, but that's neither here nor there. And then you hear screams of conspiracies about, they got to make sure the Saturday Bengals game is important, because who's going to watch it if the Broncos already made the playoffs? But anyway, it's just too many inconsistencies across the season, like TJ was saying, the Joe Burrow face, well, I don't know if it was that face mask, because there's been like 2 or 3 face masks this season. We've seen the Chiefs have all of a sudden getting, first downs manufactured out of nowhere, all of a sudden winning last minute games. All of a sudden we're seeing, their linemen blocking. What's going on? Like, I just like Beantown said, give us robot refs. In baseball they have the machine to, check for the strikes, to make sure, that the umpire is doing his job. In basketball, they even come out with, the reports the next day of, what they messed up on in their calls. The NFL, they were doing that, I think, until like 2 or 3 seasons ago. So now I can fall in line with that Vegas conspiracy, because there's betting everywhere on everything. And, there's so much money to be lost because we have so much access to bet against all these odds. And then you just see like the most outrageous things, you see, star players getting, 10 yards in a game. You see, star defensive linemen, whatever, getting called for, outrageous penalties, just weird things happening in games. So I don't know if maybe it's like just the fact that we have better cameras and we see more angles on the game, we have better replays, and maybe we're seeing more. But I don't get it. It's, it's like, well, if that's your job, it's just to watch the game and make sure it's being played the right way. How are you missing it? Like, what's going on? What do we need to do to keep you from missing it? Are you watching the game? You shouldn't be watching the game. You should be watching what's going on in the game. So yeah, I think I'm over the refs, man. They need to get some new crews in, need to maybe start over fresh. or something. I don't know.
Like what makes me mad about the refs is, like, y'all stated earlier, the play could happen right, literally in front of them. Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder could see it.
They're
Okay?
always right in front of it too. They're always
Right
hands
there.
on the
And I'm
legs,
like,
looking right at it.
I'm like, did you not see that whole face and his neck
Yeah.
turn? Did you not see this? Or did you not see that push off? Did you just throw the flag? I'm throwing flags in my house, and I don't even have flags. So if I seen it, I know clearly America seen it, but you can't. You literally right in front of the action. That's what I don't understand.
Yeah.
So I like the NFL the replay assist, because sometimes they don't all have to huddle up. They can just instantly kill it. Like, okay, that's not a penalty, or okay, throw the flag. He did deserve that. So I see that getting better a little bit, but come on, y'all. Like, not going back, not harboring over it, but going back to the Eagles, KC Super Bowl. They was doing that crap all game. Now, when it comes down to time to Bradbury to hold, now you want to call it. You want to call it right there when the Chiefs is about to not score. That's when you want to do it. You're right. I get it. Was it a hold? Of course. Even Bradbury even said it. But they was physical all game, and you wait to that moment to throw the flag.
And
Anyway.
wreck what could have been an epic ending to a Super Bowl.
So, like I said, I'm not counting. I'm not using that as an excuse. But we lost. But this the like we all game. It was physical all game. You was letting stuff go. That moment is when you decided, you know what, we're gonna, as the Chiefs would say, y'all got the refs in y'all back pocket. This was like one of them. There we go. Let's throw it. So, the Chiefs has been getting some questionable calls all season. That's one team that they got in their back pocket. But I don't know. Refs got to get better, in my opinion. I know the NBA was having issues with the refs and their calls too. You know what I mean? I got a little better. But these refs, man, you might as well go back to the zebra refs.
Garbage.
Just terrible. All right, let's see what's next on the slate here. Gotta get my list back up. Hold on. We got so many chats, don't make no sense. Okay, here we go. All right. So, are the Steelers in trouble? Steelers, knowing that they had that lead in the North, things are slimming down now with that loss. They're 10-4 now. TJ?
Let Russ cook.
They're 10-4. Finally, Lamar gets it done. Yeah, he has never played the Steelers at home. Why? Because he was always hurt. In the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, I did pick Steelers only because it was they didn't have Bateman, and I just know the Steelers always got Baltimore's number. But Lamar said otherwise. So TJ, I'm gonna let you go last. Start with said, are the Steelers in trouble?
I don't know. They still got Mike Tomlin. He seems to be a really good chess player. Like I don't know. I've been watching the Hard Knocks AFC North, and I just like, I like listening to what he's saying and telling those guys and how he's putting them into places. So I think he has something in mind in case, there is a Russ meltdown. Russ has gotten them there, but now we're starting to see Russ's his ceiling once teams have, had a chance to really like figure out what he's doing. You take away George Pickens a couple games. And then you just kind of have him scrambling a lot more. He's been looking good, but I mean, we saw it last game. He had the fumble. What was it? 1 fumble, 2 interceptions against the Ravens yesterday or something like that. You just kind of see where he's at, but it's okay because they have Justin Fields. This has been a masterclass in quarterbacking for Justin Fields. So he's had nothing to do but sit back and learn and ingest and watch and see how the team is playing, not just how he's going to play, but see how the offensive line is playing with, a slightly mobile Russ. Because, I mean, we all know Justin Fields takes that to the next level. Man, I don't think they're done, man. It doesn't, that home field advantage is good. It's really great. It's really great to have. But I mean, nowadays with the way that, the way that, fans can be in any state and watch their team, I don't know if it's the biggest of deals. Like, yeah, in the playoffs, it's going to be wild. It's going to be rough. But even if they make it in, they're not going to play the championship game, the divisional championship game in their home. So it doesn't matter where they play at. I don't think the Steelers are down on themselves, and I don't think they're worried about it at all either. I see them just continuing to just eat, but I think we might see a slightly different Steelers team in these next couple weeks.
All right, Anthony, and then we got Beantown Breakdown backstage. We're gonna bring him up after you go.
One loss doesn't define the team. One loss just doesn't define them. They're going to be all right. They're going to be fine. Mike Tomlin is a mastermind. He's going to figure out a way to go out there and get a win. And plus, they'll be in the postseason. So there's no need to worry. There's no need to have their heads down. They just got to stay focused to stay on the task of winning ball games.
All right, y'all. And again, here's your local mass hole Beantown Breakdown, all the way from Boston. You're at your local New England Patriots fan. Bobby, what's going on, man?
I had to get the coffee. I had to get the coffee before we got started.
Your thoughts on the Steelers? Are they in trouble?
The Steelers, I like this deal. I like their chances. I think they could go on a halfway decent run. I think it all depends for them. It all depends on the matchup. If they get it depends on the matchup. If they get a bad matchup, they'll be out in the first round. But I do think they'll surprise people. TJ, I think you guys have played well down the stretch. Really well, actually. I think Russ is but here's the thing though. I don't know how well I trust Russell Wilson in high pressure situations at this stage. That's my thing. But defensively, I think you guys have done enough to hang around, even with some of the injuries and with I think you guys have just done enough to hang around. The Steelers are one of those just scrappy teams, man. They'll fight and claw till the end. But I like their chances in the playoffs, especially if they get some good matchups.
All right, TJ, you got the floor.
I'll say they're not in trouble because they're just starting to level out to where they always truly were as a team. This is Mike Tomlin as a head coach and as the team. They are a wild card team. Might win, maybe against the Bengals. We all know how the Kansas City game and Christmas is going to go. So maybe they win the game against the Bengals. Maybe they just lose out like they did last season. Who knows? All I know is they're probably not winning a playoff game. It doesn't matter who they're up against. The team cannot win against other competent teams. I don't know if it's Mike Tomlin as a coach or his voice. Every now and then it's not necessarily about the coach being bad. It's just he's been around for so long. Maybe they need a new voice. Who knows? But it honestly for I'll say loosely Steelers Nation as a fan base, we're all making the joke that yep, okay, this is what we really are. Yep, all right, 0-1 in the playoffs. That's the standard. It's become an unfortunate joke for us because, quite frankly, the team has been underperforming for years and years. I mean, they allowed almost 50 points to the Jaguars at home in a playoff game. I mean, my goodness, against Blake freaking Bortles. Are you kidding me? Like, that might have been the worst day of my life, and I watched the Green Bay Super Bowl. I mean, come on now.
You know who would fit really well there, TJ? If they ever did fire and he's still around.
They're not
Mike
firing
Vrabel
a
would fit
coach
good
in
there.
Pittsburgh. They don't fire coaches.
They sure enough don't. They like supreme judges. You either die or retire.
Exactly. You move on. The coach moves on, and they get another coach.
Vrabel would fit good there.
Nah.
I can see Mike Vrabel working out good.
Last
Actually,
time I thought Vrabel was
Vrabel would fit good.
Ohio
He would fit good. He would fit good in on the Steelers. He would defensive guy.
Yeah.
Like he would old school smash mouth. He would fit well on that team.
He'd be our wishes Dan Campbell.
They're going with some young dude.
Hey, look.
When they move on,
Or-
it's going to be some young coach.
What about or Brian Johnson would fit well over there too.
He would have to, so Pittsburgh for Brian Johnson to go there. Pittsburgh would have to get some weapons on the receiving side.
But you got to remember the Steelers do draft wide receivers really well.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Not so much in recent years, though.
Yeah. Who was the last one? Juju. Oh wait, no.
George Pickens.
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 Yeah.
Man, that
That's
guy's a head
what-
case.
They'll be able. See,
They
I don't
all
know.
are.
I don't. It's you need a competent offensive coordinator there. That's what you need. And you haven't had one in 6 years.
But I don't think Arthur Smith is that bad. I think he was doing great with Fields in.
Yeah.
But Russell Wilson, he's one-dimensional. He holds onto the ball too long. The guy
Yep.
tried to run yesterday, tried to pull a John Elway and fumbled the ball. I mean, what? Come on, man.
Bumbleroski.
Hey,
The Fields games were interesting though. They showed that there was something there.
Mhm.
They need to
Because
combine
Fields can move
Fields.
out the pocket when need be. Russell's getting old.
They need to combine Fields and Russell Wilson. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to figure out a way to fuse them together.
mhm.
We'll see it eventually.
But you can't do that though. I think you got to just pick one and roll with one.
It's hard.
All I'm
And
saying
we-
is I stand by every statement I've ever made about Russell Wilson. I am a Fields guy through and through.
You know what though? I think they wish that Fields could throw the ball like Russ could, and they wish Russ could move like Fields could, and that's the issue. That's said. I think you're right though. They're trying to like blend it because they don't have a QB that can do both. That
Would be the Russ of 7 years ago, right?
They're looking for Russ in his prime, and they're
Yeah.
just not getting him.
Yeah.
You know, to me, Russ is still has some magic left, but in that game he fumbled real bad. You know, he don't have to move, so forward and do too much. Don't do too much. Just stick to the course and play your game. If you
And
don't
slide, dude, and slide. Situations like that, when you have the ball in those kind of situations,
slide.
get 4 yards, 5 yards, and get on the ground.
He
Yeah.
can't stay over the lineman. He doesn't know where the line is to go to slide. Just
All right. Any final
Yeah,
thoughts?
no,
before we move on?
those shorter quarterbacks do struggle. Drew, like the most notable shorter quarterback that actually was able to do it
Drew Brees.
and was able to actually have success. And I think one of the only ones is Drew Brees.
Mhm.
Oh, Breeze was nice.
But he was on the shorter side. What was he? 6'1", 6'2"?
No, he was under that.
What
No,
or what?
he's
So maybe
5'11",
6 foot,
5'10".
right? Like
tall
at
is
the
Baker
highest,
Mayfield?
maybe 6. At his tallest, maybe 6'1", right? Maybe. What was
No,
he?
he's like
5?
5 something. He's under 6 feet.
Okay, so call it 5'11", 5'10", 5'11". Then he's the only one under 6 foot to actually have that amount of success. 'Cause
Baker
those guys,
Mayfield.
like Sid was saying, if you can't see over your offensive lineman as that wall develops and the pocket develops in front of you, how the hell are you going to make accurate throws?
All right. So
6 feet.
Dionte Johnson does not have a job anymore.
Ooh.
He's been from the Steelers
DJ's laughing.
the Steelers to Baltimore to Cleveland. Now Baltimore let him go. Is he a problem in the locker room, or is it the teams that he goes to? And does he get on the right team that's going to either develop or whatever? TJ let you go because he was on the Steelers. So what do you think about Johnson?
So much wasted potential. If he had a better mindset, he could be an all-pro, an all-star. I mean, you saw more than just flashes. You saw a lot of big plays from him. He can catch the deep ball, good at high pointing it, isn't afraid to take the contact over the middle of the field. He is a dream in terms of ability, but mentally he is just not there. I don't know if it's maturity. I don't know if the early success in Pittsburgh, kind of made his head swell a little bit or what, but he just does not have the right mindset. He's a bad locker room guy. He complains on the sideline, and it's unfortunate, but I definitely see him being one of those retread wide receivers that you see get picked up here and there constantly. But for the most part, I don't see him ever getting back to where he was, just because he won't get out of his own way.
Anthony?
Head cases like that don't fit on a team. If you're going to act like that. Just stay to your own. We don't need divas. We need guys who can contribute, who can help out and can really get along with the locker room. Because if you don't get along with the locker room and the players that's a part of this locker room, then hit the road. We don't need you. That's how I see it from Shady's standpoint. Because if you're not here for the team, then you're by yourself. You're selfish. We need unselfish guys. This guy is just a wasted potential talent. If you have wasted potential talent, you're gone. You're never going to be in the league. You're just a frying pan that people throw out. You're an old one. So, in my opinion, I'm glad we won the Lions. So, let this be the fact that the Steelers fans can breathe easy and not have a guy like that. Even Ravens fans can breathe easy and not have a guy like that. So, he's good as gone.
Sid?
Yeah, I don't know much about Dionte Johnson. But I do know there's a lot more talent nowadays, especially at the wide receiver position. Every team has like 1 to 3 receivers that are great. Quite honestly, they can run routes, they can catch the ball, and they're really, really good. And they all go out and work just as hard. And I think that's what we're seeing. I mean, shoot, look at Carolina. It's like once he left, their receivers started getting better. I mean, granted, Cooper Kupp came back off, or not Cooper Kupp, but what's his name? Adam Thielen came back off injury, but still, their other receivers got better. He goes to Baltimore, which was odd. I think they were just really trying to have, just a backup plan for when it came to the playoffs. Just in case, Zay Flowers, missed any time, or Rashad Bateman missed any time, which they're known to do. They wanted to make sure that they had a number one just in case one of their other number ones went down. And, it was hard for him to kind of sit back and watch, right? It's hard to be like, oh, well, maybe I'll get used, so, I mean, I guess it has to be something, right? If he's getting paid good money, teams they were reaching out for him, and then, it just didn't work out. And I mean, obviously he wasn't good enough to beat out Zay Flowers. He wasn't good enough to beat out Rashad Bateman. So maybe he's not as good as maybe he thinks he is, right? But, I think there could be wide receiver needy teams going into the playoffs that could see that and pick them up. And I'm not just talking about the Chiefs. There may be other teams out there too. The Bills may be like, hey, well, we could use some good hands right now. So I think it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I think, yeah, maybe if he doesn't get picked up in these, by a team that's going to the playoffs, he might not end up on a team. You might see him on a practice squad somewhere if he is still in the league, or we might see him in the XFL.
Which is the UFL.
Or UFL, yeah.
I'm sorry, Diesel's acting like a shit.
Well, he's an old man. Leave him alone.
Yeah, at least it's him and not mine.
Well, he's an old man. What you expect? He's like 20. His cat's like 20.
Yeah, same with mine. He's like 19.
Mine just turned 20 in September.
Man, they're cranky.
Milestone age.
All right, your thoughts on Johnson, Bobby?
Dude, my cat was around when the dinosaurs were here.
Your thoughts on Dionte Johnson?
People were learning how to write with hammer and chisel when he was born.
It's on you, sir. Dionte Johnson.
It's all mental with him, man. It's not skill set. He's got the skill set to survive in the NFL. Some guys just can't hack the mental grind that it takes to be an NFL player. I mean, if you don't have the responsibility and the ethic, the work ethics to survive, we've all seen it. How many players have come through that have had incredible talent and they're not there mentally? Biggest, most shining example, Antonio Brown. Probably one of the most skilled receivers ever, but just a head case. Couldn't get along with anything.
Vontez Burfict hit him, and then that was it.
But it's just like like some people and some players just can't. Even some of the rookies, like you see, you within the first 2 years, which rookies are going to make it and which ones aren't, which ones can't handle. Like it doesn't take long. The grind of the NFL is exactly that. It's a grind. Like, and if you don't have the mental maturity and just the ability to push through all of everything that's involved, mentally and work wise to make it in the NFL, they fizzle out after a year, maybe 2 at the most, and then you never hear from them again. There's thousands of receivers there's thousands of players that have done that. They get into the NFL and they just can't handle the grind. They don't have the mental capacity to be able to push through all of the roadblocks that come with it.
But Antonio Brown, that's a different story. Before he got hit, great, because he was even talking like he was Sybil. Now after that hit, if you clearly go back and listen to his older interviews, like when he first came in, he talked different.
They were different. They were.
Now he got smacked. Things are different now.
Hey, that clear mind is gone.
But that hit from Perfect was brutal, though. That hit from Perfect was brutal. Like, you could tell Antonio was on a different planet. Like, he was in a different dimension.
He's still
that hit put him somewhere else other than Earth for probably a good 2 minutes. He was not there.
When Perfect lays a number on you, he lays a number on you. He can lay a great hit on you, and it could make your head just get in an earthquake. So, I mean,
well, now you even have and just off of that, look at how they take the hits now. Like they'll pull players from the game even for the smallest little. Like they took when at the end of the game when Henry pulled that big runoff with the Ravens, and he got tackled weird and he kind of buried his helmet into the turf. They took him into the blue tent and did the whole concussion eval to him. And to me, that was just him falling forward momentum-wise and just kind of hitting the front of his helmet on the ground. It wasn't really anything, but they're more than cautious with it now because
Hurts was clearly concussed. They didn't take his behind out. Hurts was I forget what game that was, but Hurts got cracked. And you clearly can tell he was dazed. They kept him in. But anyway, moving on.
There's been multiple players that we've seen this year that you could tell they were a little their equilibrium was a little off after some of those hits.
True.
All right. So last topic that we have before we go on to these games, and we'll let Anthony go last because we are talking about the Lions. Now the Lions are getting some key defensive pieces back, but are they still the best team in the NFC? TJ.
I have been a very heavy Lions supporter all year long. And yes, I do feel that they still are the best. Number one, how many teams can have 21 guys on injured reserve and still be not only competitive, but still keep winning games? For the most part, Detroit. Even against the Bills was, you can argue, the most one-sided game against them this season. But they were still in it till the end with over 20 guys on injured reserve, mostly on their defense. That's why they're giving up so many points. So the more guys that they get back, they should be just fine for the playoffs. But even right now, even if they were to give up, say, the number one seed, I don't feel like they would be as affected by it. You saw earlier in the year, down big. Goff is having a horrible game in Houston. They still found a way to come back. They're a battle-tested team. I still am very, very confident in my pick that they'll be in the Super Bowl still from the NFC.
That's it.
Just open up my sleeper app and I see the first thing is David Montgomery is targeting a return for the divisional round. Man, the Lions, like they say, the rich get richer, man. Aiden Hutchinson's supposed to be back for the playoffs, maybe. You know, I'm sure they have some other players that are, coming back for the playoffs, and they've looked good without these players. We're going to see how they look today without David Montgomery, as if they need him. They have a solid number one in Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Who could 20, 30, 40 carries on any team. Quite honestly, maybe like 20. I'd say 25.
I like Gibbs a lot.
Guy. Yeah. Gosh, yeah, but at the same time, that NFC, I think the Buccaneers are the hottest team in the NFC right now. That's just me. Maybe they don't have enough guff to go in and beat the Lions, but they beat them last year, didn't they? Was it the Buccaneers or I don't know. But the Eagles are looking good right now. They pick your poison with them. You want them to throw it, they'll throw it, look decent. You want them to run it, they can run it all night and day, right? And then you got Minnesota. I think, just the NFC as a whole, any one of those teams can be hot and take over at any moment. That's the thing. But I think the Lions, man, they got a grit about them. They look like an AFC team right now. They don't look like an NFC team. They're not trying to go out there and look pretty with the game. They're just trying to go out there and knock the crap out of you while they're playing, for reals. Like, no matter who they have out there, they're just trying to go out there and wear you down and just leave you exhausted, make you feel like you're playing the mile high. So I don't know if they're the best team in the NFC, but they are one of the more fun teams in the NFC to watch because, like TJ said, they're in every game. Even that Bills game, they were right. The Bills came out, man, and just smacked them in the mouth. But you know what? They came back. Lesser teams would have probably just took that, and got routed, but they came back. They brought it back and made it a game. So, I don't know. Maybe they are the best team, but I do know they're one of the hotter teams in the NFL right now.
And Bobby?
This is all right. So this comes down to the Eagles and the Lions. Those two. Those are the two that it's going to come down to. The Eagles and Lions. And to me, they're mirror images of each other. If you want to run the ball, the Lions can run the ball all fucking game on you with no problem at all. You want to throw it, the Lions can sit back and throw it 40 times. You want to throw 40 times a game, they'll throw 40 times a game. I would say the Eagles have the slight edge in the ground game with Barkley, and I would give a slight edge to the Eagles with the offensive line, but not much. The Lions' offensive line has proved that they're pretty damn good too. I think it's going to come down to who do you trust more with 4 or 5 minutes to go in the game, and you need a touchdown to win by 3. Who are you trusting more? Are you trusting Jalen Hurts' offense with 4 minutes to go and you need a touchdown to win, or are you going to trust Jared Goff and the Lions offense to put that touchdown on the board? And I think that's a real interesting question because it's, once again, they're mirror images of each other. And the Lions know how to play in cold. I mean, they're even though they're a dome team, they could still play in cold weather too. They still play good in the cold too. They do. Do I trust Philly a little more just because they play in the elements? Slightly. But that, if it does come down to it, that title game, if it's Lions in Philadelphia, that's a bar. That's, if they have to play in Philly, I would give the slight edge to the Eagles, but not much. I mean, you might as well flip a coin. But those are the two teams that it's going to come down to. They're 1 and 1A. You can't really separate the two. They're both phenomenal.
All right, and we're gonna close this out with the Lions fan in the group. Anthony, go ahead.
I agree with the rest of the panel about us. I think that the one thing that separates us from any other team is that we got the heart, we got the resilience. We have guys who could step up and, make great plays, even with key players out. we're going to be a team that's battle tested and taken to another level, whether if it's cold, hot, sleet, whatever, even snow, we're going to go out there and do what we got to do. And grit is in our DNA. I understand we're 12-2. We're not 2-12. We're 12-2. And we shouldn't worry about what anybody got to say about us. Yeah. Are we written off by the media? Of course. But, as a fan base, we're not writing ourselves off. As a team, we're not writing ourselves off. We believe we can get to the distance with Anzo back, with Khalif Raymond coming back, with, Aiden Hutchinson possibly aiming at a, Super Bowl, appearance, and even, an NFC Championship game appearance, and getting, Knuckles back would be electric for us off the run game, because you got Gibbs, who's very speedy, and then you got David Montgomery that has a lot of power. So you can really live through that and thrive through that offensively, defensively. We just got to make sure we have a healthy 7 front that can contain anybody that's in our way and can, make defensive tackles and high, low, whatever it is the case may be. But I'm trusting in, Terrion Arnold to get the job done today against the Bears and be a great, stellar CB1. He didn't watch, Carlton Davis mentor him and let him understand the game. You know what I'm saying? These guys just don't understand the playbook. They understand the play style. So, honestly, I definitely see us going all the way to an NFC Championship game. The Eagles are going to be in our way, but I'm ready for the challenge. That's how I feel about it.
That's going to be one hell of a championship game, though. If that's what it turns out to be, that's going to be a friggin' barn burner, man. That's going to be one hell of a game.
High scoring points. High scoring.
Of course,
games.
I gotta be the homer here, and I still say that even though Minnesota, we all got the same record, I still think the Eagles are the most complete team. We're the most healthiest team, as of right now. Got the running game. Even if Saquon doesn't run as much, Jalen can take off. We still got Gainwell that can run. You still can't, even if you try to stop the run, got to pick your poison.
The one
thing that Eagles and Lions both have, though, that's pretty much got them. The main reason why the Eagles and the Lions are where they're at right now, it's because of their depth.
Right.
Because of their depth. Look at how many. Pick your poison on the Eagles receiving side, right?
I pick the Lions receivers over the Eagles.
Pick your poison on the
Alcantara, even though Goddard's not in.
But you know what I'm saying?
Goddard's injury prone.
You got five legitimate targets on the field for the Eagles that you could throw the ball to, and all of them are going to produce, right? Mm-hmm. Same thing on the Lions. If you look at the distribution of the football from the Lions, Goff throws to like 8 or 9 guys a game. He distributes the football where it's open. He doesn't give a shit who it is. It's the open guy gets the ball, and most of those guys can produce pretty good yards after the catch. And the same thing with the Lions. Their offensive line is nothing to sneeze at either. Like they can run the ball with Montgomery and Gibbs, and the Eagles have Saquon and Gainwell. Like it's they're mirror images of each other, man. That is a coin flip if you ever have one.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that the one thing that you got to watch out for when you're playing against the Eagles is them playing through the perimeter, which is deep ball passing. They can definitely get deep and pass the ball to AJ Brown, who can get electric at any minute. Mm-hmm. And they have a decent run game with Gainwell and, as you said, Saquon Barkley, because Saquon Barkley could turn it up a notch. But in this game particular for them, like in the future reference, it's going to come down to coaching. Coaching makes the talent don't make the coaching. And we believe that this is going to be a game where it could be high scoring, it could be low scoring based off whatever, way they want to go about it and how they want to attack the matchup.
You know how I think you beat the Eagles? And this will be interesting, Key, just for you. I'd be curious to know what you think. You keep them in that 15-yard box. Keep them in that. You don't let them go deep. You don't let them throw the football deep. You keep them playing inside the numbers. And if they have to play inside the numbers, I think it limits the yards per catch, yards per carry. And I think if you can slow them down, you'll have a chance. But
Absolutely.
as soon as they get vertical, as soon as the Eagles get vertical with AJ Brown, forget it. It's over.
Yeah, if you let them go vertical, it could be a long game for you. That's one thing they love to do, go vertical. And you have to stop that. You have to put that you have to make sure that when you stop that to a limit, you're good. You can't just work much, just worry about less and work with less than you can do with more. And AJ Brown is a stellar talent. We didn't see it against the Pittsburgh Steelers, where they went out and did their thing vertical and even worked through the perimeter in basketball logic. They did things where it was about sharing the rock and distributing the rock as an offense, and then letting their defense work with great motion and stopping Russ.
All right, we got to move on to these picks because 1 o'clock will be here as soon as you know it. Lightning round here, and we're gonna go over some of the Thanksgiving, Christmas games as well. The 1 o'clock games, we got the Eagles and Commanders. Y'all already know who I'm picking. I'm taking the Eagles here. TJ?
I see this as the NFC version of the Steelers Ravens. That being said, I'm picking the Commanders at home.
Ooh, hot
Anthony?
take. Hot take, please. Somebody call
I definitely want the Eagles to lose so we can get that first seed. I'm going with Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels had a hell of a year. I don't see him hitting the rookie wall. He's definitely, trusting in his coach, Dan Quinn, trust him. And, they have a reliable, great offense, with Zach Ertz, former Eagle. And I think they're going to work through things and work emotionally well. So Commanders over Eagles.
Sid?
I need AJ Brown to have another big game. He helped me out last week, but I got the Commanders over Eagles too, man. No rib injury this game. And Scary Terry, and man, they've been cooking. We're about to see something. It's gonna be lightning. It's gonna be some fireworks this game, but I got Commanders as well.
Bobby?
Key, have you guys locked up your seed yet or no?
Yes.
No.
Not the seed, but we're in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs. They haven't locked up the division yet.
So you haven't locked the seed. All right. So the Eagles still have to play. They don't get to sit in. All right. So I'm gonna take the Eagles by 3.
Rams, Jets.
Ooh.
I'm taking the Rams here. TJ?
Yeah, I'm taking the Rams.
Anthony?
Rams house. They're going to do what they got to do against the Jets. Aaron Rodgers, it's past your bedtime. Hang it up.
Not his bedtime. Sid?
I'm gonna go Jets.
Oh, Lord. And then we got Bobby.
Wait, is Aaron still the quarterback of the Jets?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then Rams.
Didn't Devontae Adams have like 800 yards last week? Whatever. I'm gonna go Jets.
You taking the Rams?
As long as Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback, I'm betting against the Jets.
Oh, we got the number 1 draft pick so far in the Giants going up against Michael Penix and the Atlanta Falcons. TJ, who you got?
Giants.
Interesting. That'll be hilarious. Anthony?
Falcons all day. ATL. Michael Penix is going to have a hell of a day. Falcons all the way.
They got them a 9.5 favorite. Damn. Said.
Yeah, I got the Falcons. Giants trying to get themselves a quarterback, so Falcons got their quarterback.
Bobby, you taking?
Tankapalooza 2024 continues in New York. I'm taking the Falcons.
All right, so we got the 3-11 Panthers up against the 7-7 Cardinals. Honestly, I had to do a coin flip. This game could go either way if you want to be serious. But I'm gonna take the Cardinals. DJ?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Cardinals. They have a lot more to play for still, and the Panthers can't get out of their own way. So,
Anthony?
Hey, it's like they said, the Panthers are in their way. Cardinals are definitely going to go out there and have a show out there.
Sid?
I got the Panthers.
oh,
Bobby?
I'm with Sid. Panthers.
Okay.
Panthers got no. You want to know why the Panthers are dangerous now? Because they got nothing to lose.
Nothing to lose. They don't need their quarterback. They're seeing some flashes in Bryce Young to keep rolling with him.
They got nothing to lose, and teams like that know that they got nothing to lose and they got basically nothing to play for the last 2-3 games. They're going to play their ass off.
Yeah. Adam Thielen was the original Cooper Kupp. Let's not forget that on the Vikings, he was the original Cooper Kupp. So
and you can't lie because Bryce Young that took his time and learned some things. Now he's going to definitely get.
That's what I'm saying. And teams like the Panthers, like everybody who's playing a team like that in the last 2 or 3 weeks now, you have to play against them because they got nothing to lose. They're coming out to rip your head off and ruin your playoff hopes. That's their goal
for sure.
We got a AFC North matchup. Bengals still got a lot to play for too. They still in the things. They got to win out. So it's the Bengals over the Browns. It's because the Bengals have something to still play for. I'm gonna go with Cincy on here. TJ,
Joe Burrow.
Boo.
Anthony,
I'm gonna go with Kevin McAllister. Joe Burrow over the Browns. So since he's gonna have a hell of a game too, so since he wins.
Yeah. Dang, yeah. Cincinnati does have a good team though. But I'm gonna go Browns because I need Cincinnati to lose.
Bobby.
I'll go with the Bengals for the same. Like they have more to play. They actually have to play. They
need to lose.
They have to play. They have more on the line. Bengals.
All right, we got the Tennessee Titans and the Colts. Will Levis has been benched. Mason Rudolph is in. I like the Colts' chances here. Tony Pollard is back, so he's a go. Give me the Colts. CJ?
I've seen the Mason Rudolph saga plenty of times. I'm going with the Colts all day.
No.
Anthony? Oh, Anthony stuck in the shadow realm. Oh,
there he is.
Okay, there you go. Who you got? The Tennessee or the Colts?
I'm gonna say the Colts are gonna smash the Tennessee Titans in a blowout win.
That's it.
I need the Colts to lose, so I'm gonna say it's Titans and manifest this.
Seth's putting it into the atmosphere. He needs it to happen
because of us getting, because of this Thursday night game where we watched a 3-touchdown lead evaporate in virtually one quarter. I need the Colts, the Bengals, and the Dolphins to lose today. So I'll just say those are all losses for me.
I'm with Anthony. I think the Colts are going to absolutely demolish the Titans. The Titans are a absolute mess right now.
They're like the same.
They are a mess. They have no offensive line. They have half a defense, and they have a coordinator who's clueless.
No, we got an NFC North division game between the Bears and the Lions. Feel bad for the Bears. The Lions are winning this game. I think we may be all in agreement of that. Ain't no point of going around. We all are in agreement of the Lions beating the Bears today.
I mean, yes. It really depends on what color nail polish Caleb Williams has on today. We don't know what we're gonna see, but it's gonna be a dogfight though. It's a divisional game though. We can't count it out.
What's the spread on that game?
7.5 for the Lions.
The Lions are winning by triple that, so we're good.
I got the Lions too, but it's gonna be a dogfight, man. The Bears defense ain't gonna roll over.
At least 2 touchdowns.
At minimum, 17 points at a minimum. That game's gonna be over with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter.
It's gonna come down to half a point. You guys are seeing all that. Watch. It's gonna be a field goal, an extra point. It's gonna come down to. But it's gonna be a good game though. I think the Lions are gonna come out and they're gonna smack them around in the first half, and then Caleb Williams gonna run around in the third quarter. They're gonna get a couple, defensive touchdowns, and it's gonna be a close game.
Vikings Seahawks. I think the Seahawks have actually been playing very well. JSN's coming along as a receiver there, knowing that DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett are both there. I don't think Walker's playing today, but they still got Zach Charbonnet, which is good. I think is Gino back? I think he is.
I think Gino is back.
So
Yeah.
this may be a closer game than people think, but I'm gonna still go with Minnesota. Still got to ride the hot hand. Donald, they talk about we got to extend his contract. No, you don't.
No,
I
you
don't
really
give him
gotta
all
do
that
nothing
money.
with him. Make him earn every second.
Exactly. So you still got Jefferson and Addison and one of the one of the top duos of the wide receivers in the NFL right now. Aaron Jones is coming around. T.J. Hockenson, but I got Minnesota. TJ.
I love Geno Smith, but you got to go with the Vikings. They're just a better team overall.
Anthony.
Hey, I visited Seattle. It's a beautiful city, so I'm definitely going to go with the Seahawks over the Vikings because I need the Vikings to lose.
I've never been to Seattle. I've never been to Minnesota.
I've been to Minnesota. I drove past the stadium. Stadium is huge.
It looks like Sam Darnold's going to get the Baker Mayfield treatment if they do give him an extension. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with McCarthy. But I don't know. Coin toss. I'm going to go with the Seahawks because they're fighting for their lives. But the Vikings are also fighting for their lives too. I don't know. I'll go Seahawks.
Bobby.
I'm going to go with the Seahawks because Minnesota is due for that stinker game, and they haven't had one in a minute. So, and Seattle's one of those teams where if you don't step on their neck and put them away, they'll claw their way right back in it and beat you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think Minnesota's just they're due for one of those Minnesota Viking type games where they lose a game where they're not supposed to. So I'm going to go Seattle by a touchdown or a field goal.
Dang.
Close game though.
Big.
Yes, Seahawks are very scrappy, man. They're very, very scrappy.
Yeah. Dude, if you don't, they're one of those teams like they're kind of like the Steelers. If you don't step on their throat and put them away, they'll find a way to come back and beat you.
I think we may be all agreeing to this next game. Ain't no point of talking about it. The Patriots and Buffalo, even though it is a division game, I don't see New England playing hard against the Bills.
Hey.
14.5 point favorite.
Oof.
That's
Take the spread. That game's going to be over at half. And I'm a Patriot fan, and I'm saying that.
All right. So yeah, all in agreement that the Bills are going to win this game. And it come to find out, Josh Allen has been playing with a broken. Josh Allen has been playing with a broken hand since week 1.
And by the way, that was my mom that commented.
Hello, Mama. Glad you can talk
Hey.
to us today.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Josh Allen's been playing with a broken hand since week 1.
Has he really?
Yes. This game
In all honesty, though, take if the spread's 14 points, take the spread. That the Patriots have scored on average 14 points a game. Buffalo's going to put up 40. Buffalo will put up 40. Don't even take the spread in that one.
Josh Allen would be prime for like 6 touchdowns in this game. So
if you got Josh Allen on your fantasy team, you better make sure that he's playing.
I'm playing against Josh Allen today in my playoff. This is going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, Key, you might be screwed. Josh might have 45 fantasy points by the end of the day.
But I just got the Baker Mayfield and Evans stack. Hopefully they do some damage against the Cowboys tonight. But anyway, this was a coin flip for me. I had to ask Siri, the Jags or the Raiders. I said I wasn't going to pick the Raiders no more. Give me Jacksonville.
The Raiders are actively tanking. That's the difference. Jacksonville is Jacksonville's actually trying to win games. The Raiders are actively in the tank. The same thing as the Giants. Tankapalooza is in full effect in Las Vegas too.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants and the Raiders are actively trying to lose games so they can get their quarterback. For real. You should never bet for the for the Giants or the Raiders because they are
I haven't picked the Raiders
not
all year.
trying to win games. They are actively not trying to win games.
But I got
Trying to get your number one spot.
Yeah.
Coming for that number one spot.
Is everybody taking the Jags?
Jags.
Absolutely.
Jags all day.
Hands down. Jags are definitely going to take over in this game.
Then we got the 49ers up against the Dolphins. The 49ers are running out of running backs. They're out in the street right now. Brock Purdy just bought his offensive line, new trucks and stuff from Toyota. So who knows? They might actually
No. He didn't buy him new trucks. He bought him a Toyota. Toyota's not a truck. Trucks actually have V8s.
What? Tacos? You don't like tacos?
Trucks actually have V8s.
Not nowadays.
But,
They got that turbocharged, that supercharged.
Miami is still in the things, but I don't know. This was another coin flip for me. But give me San Fran, TJ.
Yeah, I'm going San Fran all day. The Dolphins, plan your vacation, man. It's over.
Anthony.
Yeah, I definitely gotta say the 49ers in this game. They're gonna have to win this game, and they're gonna have to prove themselves with a retool year. Debo Samuel is definitely gonna have to try to help himself out, and get better in this game. Brock Purdy, to me, he's gonna get his money when it's time to get it due. So other than that, I think 49ers over Dolphins. Sorry, Miami.
So Seth already said he got Miami losing, so he got the 49ers.
Yes.
Bobby.
I think we've all isn't this the Dolphins pattern? Start off red hot, and then by week 12, 13, 14, they fall off a cliff, right? It's pretty much a pattern every year for the last 3-4 seasons. They start out red hot. They go, 7-3 through 10 games, and they're putting up 40, they put up 40 points 3 times in those 10 games. And they look like, they're headed towards the top 4, being one of the top 4 teams. And then they do this. They just crash and burn. And I think the crash and burn continues. I'm taking the 49ers because I just trust them more, even with all the injuries. I still trust them more than Miami.
Mm-hmm.
The Buccaneers and the Cowboys for the Sunday night game. Give me Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield has been hot. Mike Evans still has a chance to get 1,000 yards. Say what you want about Mike Evans. Mike Evans gets 1,000 yards every single season. Doesn't matter what quarterback that he has. I still think there's a chance that he can do it. So give me Tampa Bay to beat the Cowboys tonight. Okay?
I tell you one thing, in 5 or 6 years, we might be having the Mike Evans to the Hall of Fame discussion.
As he should, in my opinion.
We might be having the Mike Evans to the Hall of Fame discussion because of the consistency every year since he started.
Mike Evans is going to the Hall of Fame. First off, he will be in the Hall of Fame. He's done nothing but produce every time he's on the field, right?
Every year, every year for as long as I can remember, the guys had 1,000 yards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I think we can all agree with that one.
TJ, who you got?
Buccaneers.
Anthony.
How about them Cowboys?
Oh God!
How about them Cowboys in my Stephen A. Smith voice? I'm going with the Cowboys over the Buccaneers.
Oh wow!
You are wrong, sir.
Buccaneers.
I could see this being a trap game for Tampa, though. I could see this being a trap game, 100%.
Potentially.
Who's home? Who's home?
They are in Jerry World.
Yep.
Oh, that's definitely a trap game.
Yep. Easily.
Oh, that's.
I
still
AT&T Stadium.
I still can't pick them, but I still can't pick Dallas.
See, Mama knows.
The Bucks.
Thanks a lot, Mom.
The Bucks are going to win. The Bucks are going to win, but Dallas might put up a better fight than people think. But it wouldn't surprise me if Baker drops 45 on them too.
I hope they do. I need that connection today. I told you I got the stats going in my fantasy today. So I need to make it to the money round. I need to make it to the finals. That's $1,200 on the line. Anyway, we got the Saints and the Packers for the Monday night game. Oh, damn. They got the spread 14.5. Give me the love boat. I'm taking the Packers.
Hey, just
That
just
spread
real
still
quick,
isn't enough.
Just real quick before we do that, Mike Evans has never not hit 1,000 yards since he's been in the NFL.
That's crazy.
Oh, that should be a good one to look at.
Mike Evans has never not hit 1,000 yards, and he's at 749 right now.
That's pretty awesome.
He's never not hit it.
Hey, that is.
I'm looking at it right now.
And he missed games due to injury, right?
And this is his 10th season in the NFL. All 10 years have been over 1,000.
I think he spoke about that on NFL Network over the course of the offseason, that he was definitely willing to achieve it.
He needs 251.
That's
it.
I don't care what anybody says. That's Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
1,000 yards every year since you've been here.
He can
That's Hall of Fame
He
worthy.
can easily have these last games be 100 yards and he breaks 1,000 yards.
Unanimously, he's definitely going to go in the Hall of Fame unanimously.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody taking Green Bay?
Yes.
I'll take Green Bay. I'll take the cheeseheads in this game.
And
That was tough to say, I know.
Yeah, it really is.
Christmas Day games. Hold on. They're just remixing what they had games yesterday, just in different orders. So we got the Chiefs and the Steelers on Netflix. So we getting Netflix games the Christmas Day. God,
I hate the streaming games so much.
It's gonna start freezing and stop and kick people off.
It's a 1:00 game, so hopefully everybody's done open stuff up and starting to eat or whatever. 10-5.
It's a 1:00 game.
14-1 Chiefs. I don't know. I'm on the fence because the Chiefs, they're just barely winning.
They're gonna be.
Give me Kansas City. I'll take Kansas City. TJ, who you got?
I know how it's going to go, but I got to stay loyal and faithful with my Steelers, even though, we all know they're going up against a football team plus a few extras. But, I'll go with the Steelers. And Russell Wilson, I do not trust, though.
Some of the Chiefs are going to be wearing red and black jerseys.
Anthony, you got?
I'm definitely gonna go with Patrick Mahomes. You can't bet against Patrick Mahomes because he's a dog. I mean, these guys are lucky that they're winning games and they're 12, literally 13-1 just yesterday.
14.
So I definitely see this team winning in a old-fashioned open up a can of what in a game against the Steelers.
Said.
Forgive me, TJ.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs. Oh wait, no, I got the Steelers. I need the Chiefs to lose something. So let's.
You mean the Chiefs? You mean the Chiefs and the refs?
I need both of them to lose. Well, I guess I don't need the Steelers to lose so much, so I'll take the Steelers.
It could be a Christmas Day miracle. You never know.
Hey, the refs might put up career high numbers in that game.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for the refs. So here's can the Chiefs afford to lose this game? Yes or no? Can somebody answer that question for me?
They can.
Yes.
No.
Because if they can afford to lose and still keep the number 1 seed, they're going to lose.
Right.
So what's the lead? What's the lead that they have on who's the closest? Is it Buffalo or is it it's Buffalo, I believe, right?
Right.
Buffalo, they only have 12 wins.
Can somebody, maybe I can find it. What's the lead that Buffalo has on the Chiefs right now?
Well, they got the tiebreaker.
A game and a half because they got beat head to head.
So technically they could afford to lose this game. TJ, that being said, I'm taking the Steelers. I'm
going to let all of you down. I'm telling you right now.
What can we not? The NFL, the narrative, guy, the narrative. As long as the Chiefs will stay at the number 1 seed, the Steelers will win this game. That's, I mean, and you know what? You know what, Anthony? The thing that's the one thing that's going to stop you guys from winning the Super Bowl, and if you're going to win the Super Bowl, this is how you have to do it.
Right.
You have to fight the freaking narrative, my guy.
Mm-hmm.
Only way the Lions are winning the Super Bowl is if they get in there against the Chiefs and they beat them 42-10, Seattle style, like they did to.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, like Seattle did.
Type of esque game. Yeah,
that is the only way. And if I'm the Lions, dude, this playoffs, I'm running the score up every game and just giving the middle finger to the refs and the narrative and Roger Goodell. Dude, I'm dropping. If I'm the Lions, I don't care. I'll apologize to the coaches after the game. Dude, screw the narrative. I'll apologize to the coaches after the game. I would drop 50 every game you play.
I mean, if you look at it this way, with our offense, we can definitely drop, 50 burgers consistently.
Unapologetically, TJ.
Easy money.
An FU to the NFL narrative. That's the only way you guys are going to win the title. But you know what? I would, if the ref said, "Oh, we're going to fine you $10 million for going against the narrative," you know what I would say? If I was the Lions ownership, I would be giving the double freedom rockets right back to them and being like, "We'll take that fine."
Double freedom rockets.
Exactly, take that.
We'll take that fine, take our trophy, and be happy and go back. Goodbye.
All right. Then we got the Ravens and the Texans. They just lost Tank Dell. I don't know if I don't know if the Texans can fight up there with the Ravens. So give me Baltimore. TJ.
I'm not going to say any facts. I'm just going to say the truth. I have a hatred for Baltimore. Go Houston.
Anthony.
Yeah, I definitely would like the question. How can they, flourish without Tank Dell, however, Tank Dell.
Tank Dell. Yep.
Yeah. Really, it's mixed up with Bell, but it rhymes. Yeah. So Tank Dell being out, it's gonna hurt them a little bit, but they're gonna have to, get all on fire. They're gonna have to get on fire and just do what they have to do as an offense consistently. They've been doing good, but I definitely gotta give it over to the Baltimore Ravens in this game because the Baltimore Ravens are looking real decent right now.
Said.
Man, it's gonna be a dogfight, but yeah. I mean, they got Nico Collins back. He's the number one anyway. They don't need Tank Dell. But yeah, they don't have really any other receivers. Dalton Schultz, man, he just went off. So I could see a repeat of that, them leaning more on him. Gosh. I am going to go Texans.
Ooh. That's your final answer?
Yeah. I'm going to go Texans. Yeah.
Bobby, who you got?
I don't like the Ravens either. I'm with TJ. I can't root for Baltimore, guy. My hatred for the Ravens goes back to the early 2000s when Terrell Suggs and Ray Lewis were playing against the Pats. My hatred for that team goes back far. So I'm sticking. I will not root for Baltimore. I'm taking Houston.
All right, y'all. There you have it. Another one in the books. Week 16. We are on. Jalen Hurts is wearing the cleats again, even though he got fined. But you know what Jordan Brand said? Jordan said, "Don't worry, Jalen, I got you."
He paid a fine for you.
He paid the fine for them, and guess what? He's wearing them again pregame. I don't know if he's going to switch them, but he's wearing them again. So that's what that Jordan money will get you.
Hey, that's that lookout. That's that lookout.
So, but we are another.
They fined Michael Jordan for playing in Jordan 1s every time he played them.
Yeah.
And Nike paid the fine.
Nike paid it. Yeah.
Nike paid the fine every game for him.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully your teams will win today. TJ, sorry y'all lost yesterday. Bobby, you already know your team ain't winning. Damn, the team lost too. Jesus, it's just up to me and Anthony today, huh?
Yeah.
But
well, at least Anthony's team will win. What?
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna have some bear soup, so I'm good.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully your games will go by well, and also everybody have a happy Merry Christmas with all your family and loved ones as well, because of course we won't be here Wednesday. But yeah, hopefully y'all have a great holiday. Hopefully you get all the gifts y'all want. Hopefully your kids ain't ash off for a lot, because I know mine did. Thank God, just of him being older. If it was 10 years ago, yeah. But now he's 17, he don't want as much, so thank God. But
yeah, seriously though, from every one of us here at this What's Wave Network, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, guys. Be safe, enjoy it with your loved ones, and we appreciate all the support.
Don't get too twisted though, because we need y'all back here. Don't do nothing dumb, because we need y'all back here next week. So, y'all enjoy your games. Y'all enjoy the holidays. We'll be back next week, same time, same place, same channel. Don't forget.
Yep.
The NFL Pregaming. See y'all.
Later, guys.
Later.
Are you ready?